So now we're going to look at the final two ways to be able to prove that two triangles are congruent. Now remember, in order for two triangles to be congruent, all of their angles have to be the same. And all of their sides would have to be the same. So that one would have to be the same with this one. Between 1 and 2, and between 2 and 3. Okay. So if we wanted to show that two triangles are congruent, we can go through and prove that all the angles are the same and all the sides are exactly the same. But that's showing 6 different things just to prove that two triangles are congruent. So some of the shorter ones that we've already looked at is if you can show that all 3 sides are the same in 2 different triangles, they're automatically congruent by side, 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 and we don't even have to worry about the angles. The other one that we looked at was side, angle, side, where if you know 2 sides are the same and the angle in between them is the same, it automatically means that the 2 triangles are congruent. We don't have to go any farther. So today we're going to go through and look at the last 2. The last 2 are angle, angle, side. And angle, side, angle. So let's first look at angle, angle, side. So let's say, actually, I think I'm going to start the other way. I'm going to change my mind. I think we're going to look at this one first. Angle, side, angle. Okay. So an angle, side, angle, again, just as it is, you have to have 2 angles, but the side has to be between the 2 known angles. Okay? So in order for 2 triangles to be congruent through angle, side, angle, you are going to have 2 angles. Okay? And the side in between, so the side directly in between those 2 angles has to be congruent. So this one would have to be congruent to this one. So those 2 triangles right there are congruent by angle, side, angle. Now, it's very, very similar. So let's say I'm going to look at 2 more triangles. So our other one is angle, angle, side. So let's just kind of show, just like I did with this last one, that those angles are the same. So far, there's really no difference between them. However, with angle, angle, side, the side is not between the 2 known angles. Okay, so our side could be over here, let's say, and over here. Or it could have been these 2 over here. It really doesn't matter. So either way, when you're looking at congruent triangles, if you have 2 angles and that side, whether it's in between the 2 or it's outside of the 2, it means that they're going to be congruent. So these 2 are usually not too hard for students to identify. However, you have to make sure that you're careful that you're labeling them correctly, okay? Because it does matter. This one has the side in between the 2, and this one does not. So just be careful when you're looking at images and figures that you're identifying the correct congruent statement. And just remember, when you have 2 figures, let's see, and I have that side that overlaps between the 2. So let's say, this angle and that angle are the same, and then these 2 are the same. So these 2 angles are the same, and these 2 angles are the same. Right now I only have 2 angles. But remember, if you have an overlapping side, which means that exact same side is used for both triangles, it automatically implies that they're congruent. They just don't state it because it's obvious. So this would be an angle, side, angle, because that side is in between the angles. So remember, if you have those overlapping sides, you can go ahead and mark that if it doesn't have a mark. Same thing when you have ones that have, remember, those vertical angles, those angles that are across from each other. Those will never be marked. However, you can go through and mark them if you want to. Those are ones that are automatically implied to be congruent.